Hi.
Welcome back to another episode, our last
Oh,
episode for a couple weeks of the Tito
yes.
Grind podcast.
I can't wait.
I can't believe it. I can't believe it. We're
No.
talking about TRCMA. If you're not familiar with what that is, it's the Rad Company's Media Access
Yep.
event, week-long program.
Yeah, it's one of those events that all these companies and individuals really look forward to. New product drops, all that fun stuff. Now, it's if anybody has an experience running an event of any kind, whether it's work related, personal,
Yeah.
business, whatever, you can only procrastinate so much. You tell yourself, listen, I'm going to plan 8, 10, 12 months ahead of time,
Yeah.
get a game plan going. Then that 8 to 10 to 12 months turns into days
Yeah.
and then into hours.
Yep.
So we are nearing the end. So you and I both head out next Saturday
Yes.
to the Treasure Valley, Boise,
Yes.
Idaho. Because you have to pronounce it Boise.
It's Boise. I've been practicing.
Yes.
Um, I am I'd say the only thing I'm not looking forward to, not that big a deal because I'm in no hurry, but
Mhm.
it's a little bit of a longer flight because of the layover, longer travel day.
Like,
Um,
as the crow flies,
yes,
honestly, you're probably very similar distance from me. Like,
because I can
meet
I can drive to the rag company in a little over 8 hours according
yes,
to the map.
yes. So, I mean, geographically, you that's kind of the perk of living in a city that you do, given
Yes,
the destination,
yes,
right? Because I mean, you only really have to go through Nevada and then you're almost there.
yep,
So,
yep.
I would say like
I'd have bring a nice dirty car for hopefully someone
mhm.
to clean for me,
Yes, that's right. And
but
quite
no,
honestly,
I
like as
will.
the crow flies, your distance from where you are to Boise versus where I am to Boise, I may be a hair longer. Like
Wow, that's pretty cool. I didn't know that.
it's a hair, but um yeah, because the are for those that enjoy aviation, I know Bruce is in the chat. If you want to, track the flights, we're
Is
both going
Bruce
to
in the
end up.
chat?
I think so. I thought I saw him. Anyways, I'm sure he'll be here or watching after. But I go to the beautiful metropolitan of Salt Lake City and then to Boise. You go a little bit more north and then back
We
down.
might wave our planes might we
I
might
know.
wave at each other
I know.
for our layovers.
Like going, I just love the logistics of going down because I go further south than Boise and then back up.
Yeah.
You're going up and then back down, and then on my way back, we both end up in Seattle, and then we
I'm
go our
going
separate
up
ways.
and kind of southwest,
Mhm.
I guess. But I'm flying Delta. So,
Yes. So
did you do anything fun this week?
I I did a little bit of fun stuff. I've
I
been
think
getting,
I may have seen a little sneak peek of what you did. You showed me right before the
you know, I I don't like to, be paid for an opinion, if you will. And I organically choose who I like to support and
Yes.
participate with and things of that nature.
Yes.
And certain companies do entrust us to, you know, do a product drop or they kind of send us stuff ahead of time with the explanation of, hey, here's your X day. Don't leak it
Yep.
before
It's
then.
called an embargo.
Yes.
Yes.
So the embargo has passed, which was yesterday. And we got a little bit of a foamy situation.
Yes. Yes. You may have noticed on my if you follow me on Instagram,
Yes.
I may have been foaming and foaming and foaming and foaming a wheel a little
Hmm.
excessively
Hmm.
for a reason. I didn't
Yep.
really call it out or anything, but
Yeah.
little Easter egg if you were
And
paying attention.
you know what? Like whether it's a foam cannon that we're reviewing or
Yep.
another spraying device that the result
Yep.
is foam, it's hard. You have to get it right the first time, especially a foam can, for goodness sake. But like if you
Yeah.
have, a dirty hatch or a dirty wheel or something like that, yeah, you could probably get away with the
A
other,
dirty what?
like a dirty
Hatch?
hatch,
Oh, okay.
hatch, not SN hatch without the H, uh, first H. I If you get, you get because you're very good cinematically of
Thank you.
getting the lighting right. You know that gets pretty going. Is your ability
I
to
have a
light it
widget
up.
on my phone to show me when sunrise is,
Oh,
when golden
oh,
hour is, and when sunrise is, so that
mhm,
I can time my shots if needed.
there you
It's
go.
very helpful.
Golden hour hits different in the
Golden hour does hit different, especially when you've got some foam on the car and
yes.
everything's kind of just like glowing.
Hmm.
I think that's my
Yeah,
favorite shot. I had
but
some of I had some of this on the car. This
oof,
stuff. I'm not sponsored. I
no,
bought this.
Riots, if you're watching,
This shit
hit
is
a
this
brother
is
up.
some good. This is a good little pre-soak right there. Like it I was in direct sun. This thing could have dwelled for 10, 15 minutes before
Hmm.
I needed to rinse it off.
See, I'm
It
excited because I remember when that released because they have a few different ones in their lineup.
Yeah, there's an orange one that's a higher pH, and this one's
Hmm.
like a 5 point something.
If you want to go full on God mode, you have the ability to screw that bottle right to your foam cannon,
You do.
which
You do. If
is
you've got those inner threads,
mm,
you can just pull from it.
mm,
If you've got the Boss foam cannon though, which I don't have,
no,
I always said I wouldn't do it because I'm not someone who just goes straight chemical.
yeah,
But for efficiency's sake, like I'm starting to like it a little bit more and more. So yeah, if anyone's got the hook on the Griot's cannon, it might I think it's
Karst
called Lumi, Lumy.
Lumy.
I don't know that
You,
it's free, but it
you know,
it's literally all I use it for is the widget or the complication on my watch.
don't want to wave my finger too much, but you know who a Griot's solution is. We're going to be spending some time with this individual on the Monday of TRCMA.
Aha, yes. I think I know who you're talking about.
Yes.
I'm not a
So
subscriber or follower, but
for
I think I know
the
what you're talking about.
for the Obsessed Garage fans, Maddie M is going to be there for the
There
week.
it is.
Now, I don't know how well he's going to take being around all the people there. I mean, there's a lot of downtime and sitting around for certain individuals. And I don't know if
Yes.
he's going to hit up the gymnastic place next door because I feel like he's always
To
got to
do
be
the
moving and
gymnastics?
exercising. Yes, because he's always got to be like CrossFitting. Like
Is Matt
he's
a
probably
gymnast?
no, but it's close enough to CrossFit.
Okay.
Like I mean, you can jump on the trampoline,
Yeah, you got to do those
which
crazy fast
which
pull-ups.
which fun fact is the trampoline is the brand. It's not the actual it's like how people call Band-Aid.
Yeah,
It's
yeah, yeah,
actually a
yeah.
bandage, right?
Kleenex.
Kleenex, same deal.
Yep.
So the trampoline is the brand, and I think the proper official term is like rebound platform or something like that. And I'm like, I'm gonna keep calling it trampoline. I don't even care. But
Dating
yeah,
apps are
that's
also called rebound platforms.
they.
Sorry.
Oh my god, especially certain ones, that you have to swipe left or right, or
Yes.
But any which way,
Yes.
we're getting off track.
We're
This
getting
is a
distracted
very
here.
this is going to be a spicy week. Okay, this is a spicy episode. Why we picked a spicy situation right before we're taking a break, I have no
I don't
idea.
know,
Maybe we
man. I
need the
hope
break.
this all turns out well. I hope we
Yes,
have a show to come back to.
yes.
I hope our
Um,
flights aren't canceled next week
I
because of
hope
this
we're not
episode.
canceled.
Yeah. So
Uh,
I
but but we
need a sip of
I
coffee
lost
before
my
we
train
bring
of
him
thought.
in.
Is what happened there. Ooh, that's quite the slurp.
Yeah.
But no,
Why?
because of the nature of the episode, we're not going to be having a tier list at the end. Sorry to those tier list fans,
Yeah.
but we just have a lot to talk about.
Yes.
So
We
I
not
think
necessarily us, but
yes,
we want to give this man his platform. And
yes,
we also want to give you guys an opportunity to ask questions
hmm
because if you caught his last podcast interview with Jimbo, great episode by the way.
yes,
It was pre-recorded, so there was no
hmm
interaction
yep,
and getting that live feedback. He had to get the questions beforehand. So If you've got them, get them in. We'll star them for the end. But what do you say we bring him in?
I think we should. So
I don't know
we'll
what
try
to call him.
We'll try to be on that hour-ish mark. I'll do my best. But we're as Bro Dizzle Dazzle Detailing will say, bring on the spice.
The spice, the chili pepper, the oh man. What do you say we bring him in? What do you say we bring in one of the least controversial people on detailing internet?
I'm not gonna wreck anything.
Mr. SheepStar.
I'm not gonna wreck anything.
Just a couple of ripe Canadians in the house there, bud.
Here, let's put the Canadians on top.
Alex.
Let's do this geographically correct.
Yes, thank you. Stuff. We are Joseph's hat today.
That's right.
Got a little.
How you doing, man?
I'm good. I'm good.
I know.
Right on.
Little, I know.
Right behind this corner, if you see it move, there is a dog under that blanket.
Okay.
That's her spot. You might see a leg stretch out or something. That's totally
what is
normal.
Dog's name?
Dog's name is Penny.
Penny. We
you
love
can
dogs
see
on this show.
You can see a little nose right here.
I do see the nose.
Hello, Penny. Yeah, so
thank you for joining us.
That's where she sleeps now. There you go. You see.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
There's a nose there.
I will get Steve out of the question first. Now, Steve,
here we go.
we may have an iPad at TRCMA, and I will do you the courtesy of bringing this up once for the week. So
this question.
analyze the schedule, which is public on the ragcompany.com website.
It is.
Pick your day when you want it, and then I'll read it out for just once on the record, just once. How many times Joey reads it, I have no idea, but just once.
So in case people don't know, this isn't my question.
No.
This is a Reddit AMA question from 15 years ago.
Yeah, if you're
history
a veteran of the internet, this is up
there.
This
isn't anything new.
No.
This is up there with like the coconut or the poop knife. I don't know if
Banana
you guys
for
are
scale.
familiar.
No.
Yeah. Oh, I got a lot to teach you next week.
God bless Reddit, hey? Oh my.
Well, I am so happy to have SheepStar. We've been chatting for the last couple weeks, just
prepping,
shooting the shit with each other and
making sure I'm not a crazy person.
Making sure that you're not like, well, no, I think I was making sure that you were crazy enough to have us on because I don't want to do the show anymore. I want it to end. So this is the last episode.
Yeah.
But,
so to answer Steve's question, it's both. You want to take them on both at the same time. There's enough horses to trip up the duck for a bit.
Okay.
You can take out the first few horses, feel like a god king, just take them out, then stand on the shoulders of those little horses and use them as weapons and beat the duck. And then cook the duck and eat it.
Ooh.
Right? Like
that's a lot of duck.
That's freezers exist for a reason.
Yeah, that'll
freeze.
The deep freeze solution, man.
You know what else? I omitted this fact earlier, but we are on episode number 18. We are officially an adult.
Hey,
this is fantastic.
This is we're not monetized, so there may be vulgar language during this episode.
You can buy porn now.
Yeah,
porn,
that was
cigarettes.
I wasn't going to go there. We are a legal drinking age in the province of Alberta and not the rest of Canada.
So
yeah, not mine. You got to be one.
I think
you got to be one more year older for me. So that's all we had at 18.
Yep. The
it's
right
an
province
anniversary. It's an anniversary for me though.
It is, man. Happy monetization anniversary.
That's right. I got monetized in
March
2024. Let me show you.
Are we going screen sharing here?
Yeah.
Oh,
I don't know if it'll show you clearly.
Make it big.
That's the day that the first money papers came in.
Look at that.
Focus on me. And total for the channel, I hope this will focus, is there. Says 1998 42 cents. So yeah, March 2024.
Look at that transparency.
You almost got a 20.
Yeah. Was was when I it was Jimbo's hardest shell video. That's the one that did it.
Heck yeah.
I remember that really clearly because I ordered it from his website and it did the currency conversions. And I was like, okay, yeah, it's like $60. You know, you got shipping it from California, whatever. That in grand scheme of things, that, you know, I'm sure Alex, you know, it's not that brutal for us.
Mm-hmm.
But then it shows up with a whole bunch of extra duty charges and it was like 120 out of pocket.
Yeah.
But my wife had to pay the extra charges at the door. And she was not impressed.
No.
I came home and she's like, "What the hell are you doing?"
Yeah, the fellow Canadians among us do struggle. Now, an alternative for us, which I was going to ask you this, is a lot of people will go to a town right over the border, like get stuff shipped there, and then go pick it up, depending on if timing works. A lot of these places aren't open on weekends, so if you work on Monday to Friday, try to get there. Oh, there's a bunch in that.
There's a bunch, depending where you are.
Oh,
I don't.
Is this an underground society? Like we don't say it out
like
loud.
Just like a PO box that service, essentially. But
Joey,
I don't do it often, so I never look into it.
Joey, if you want some fun, just look up like at the border storage solutions for Canadians. And there's
a lot of people.
I know what rabbit hole I'm going down tonight.
There's
a lot of people do it.
Just south of us, because the Coots border crossing is the closest for me, which goes into Sweetgrass, Montana. And there's and Sweetgrass is not I don't even know if it has town status, if it's like, you know, if it's village or hamlet or what it is, but they have two very large border storage solution packages for Canadians. But obviously with the almighty dollar suffering, their business by proxy also suffers. But
Adrian's offering to be your smuggler if it were easier.
There we go.
No, I'm okay. I don't need it.
Even if you say like, hey, send her as a gift, you know,
some people have sent me stuff like they just were like, what do you want? Like they wanted me to test something and they'll send it.
Yeah.
One guy bought me Ammo's Reflex Pro top coat, his like spray ceramic-y thing. Because to get that one into Canada, you're looking at like 180. Mm-hmm. It's 95 US for the product and the shipping before the conversion or the duty charges. It's ridiculous.
He told me this, and I sent him a screenshot, and I was like, man, it's like $43 shipped to my house or something.
Yeah. No, it's brutal. But no, that one was funny. That was supposed to be the first. Ryan.
Yeah. Nobody.
That was the first. That was supposed to be the first product in the last series of like rank reviews.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But it's not working. And I have tried it 3 different times now, and it's still not working. And I reached out to them, and they responded like right away. And I contacted the guy who sent it to me, and I was like, dude, it's not working. They've offered a refund, but I can't send it back to them because I didn't purchase it. So I was like, do you want it back? Do you want? And he's like, no, keep it, like, you know, do your thing. And another person reached out who had good experience with it, but they're using it on top of his coating. And I'm using it on a bare panel. So I'm like, okay, I need to rule out a whole bunch of stuff here. So I didn't go anywhere with the video yet. I've just I'm still talking with them.
Did they say like maybe bad batch or something?
They've hinted nothing about a batch, and they've said nothing like close to your performance. Because I put up a video like privately to show them like this is what's going on. It's just like a 30-second clip of the water, but like 7 days curing in the garage, it still is like sheeting off like that. I'm like,
yeah.
And that's like the last person you want to go.
That's commendable for you to go those steps to you know, cover all your bases to make sure that like this is a you problem and not a product problem or whatever it is.
I am not infallible. I will screw things up. So I try to give the benefit of the doubt, especially for someone like Larry. Like the guy's the last person you want to, you know, slag if you screwed it up, especially. Like I have a massive amount of respect for that guy. So I don't want to put out a video that's just like, it doesn't work at all. And then it's slick. It was nice to apply it, everything out there. But when I hit it with water, I'm like, just not getting it. So, but yeah, like I found it really interesting though. It's like the bottles, like it only lasts like 2 to 3 months. I'm like, that's sort of like every product. It seems they all last 2 to 3 months.
Isn't that
someone's actually honest about it on the label? You know,
well,
I the other day I found a 4-year-old bottle of Griot's 3-in-1, and asked your opinions if you thought it would still work, and the consensus was no.
And I will have to
Or
give
it's a long
credit where
time.
credit is due. That good friends of ours, Joey there, we Bradley and DJ. Bradley's very open because like one of the products that I think has been really taking over for especially 2024 was Phobic. They did say that it's best to use within 90 days. After that 90 days, it will still work. We just can't guarantee the performance is going to be like day one.
Yeah.
So the transparency is beneficial, for that reason.
Yep.
And that just like there's a lot of products like, if you have a compound, whether it be like a polish, primer polish, rocks in a bottle, whatever, those I find are a bit more stable than, other stuff that can be a bit more volatile, like a spray sealant that may separate or something like that, right? Or if you have freeze thaw cycles, which a lot of companies have alluded to, one freeze thaw is usually fine.
Yeah.
But, in Joey's situation, the extreme heat can also affect stuff.
Yeah.
That's why I keep everything in the house,
right
like,
behind you.
Lucky enough, some of it. Like my shelves
Well,
over here are a mess in
but that,
cycling through stuff right now.
But even just the KCX background, you received the new foam cannon, the quiver from Josh, who also had a beautiful KCX background, and he got rid of it. And it's lacking the color. It's
Someone
lacking
had
the
to
pop.
take it over, right? Someone
Bring
had to
it
put some
back.
KCX
Bring it
bottles in the
back.
back. But to get us back on topic, like back to your monetization, is this something that you were anticipating when you started your channel, or
No.
working towards?
I was doing the channel to post video clips into written reviews on forums. It was easier to use YouTube's service for that than it was to use, like, I was using Flickr, but they had a time restriction on
Flickr. I used to have a paid Flickr account.
Like,
I am a photographer first, so Flickr was my thing.
Yeah.
But
hey, you could sell that lens and do a whole Swiss tracks for in 3-car garage.
Not that one.
And
not
some
that
Dixons.
One. That's only about 500. I got a couple others that were. I buy a lot of my gear used because photography gear doesn't really go bad.
And we're Canadian, so it just
and we're
sucks.
Canadian. Yeah. So if I take my camera body and my main lens, because I shoot a full frame DSLR, those two, if you buy them retail, they're $5,000.
Yeah. Just
the camera body and the lens. You don't even have a memory card yet.
Which sounds like a lot, but it's not.
It's not. It's crazy not. Lenses are like pro grade lenses are really expensive, but they're they last a long time.
I still have a 780-200 Canon that I bought brand new in 2008 and still use it to this day.
72. Yeah. I have a 7200 as well, but I downgraded to the f4 for size and weight.
Yeah. I like the thick boy.
Yeah,
that was the
one thing I've never gotten into is just like, I like taking photos, right? Like I like seeing what I can do with my camera or on my phone, but like the world of lenses is something foreign to me.
It's really nuts. There's like half of it is like go down the rabbit hole and learn your lens and learn its strengths. Yes. And the other half is don't miss your shot. It's like photography. There's like there's the technical side and then there's compositional side. And if you have only one, you will suffer. If you have a bit of both, you can do a lot more. But always have to have composition.
There was a term from a photographer, Zach Arias, that I was watching one of his workshop DVDs. And one of the things that really resonated with me is if you're into photography and you take a photo and it's not good and you say, I'll just fix this in Photoshop later, stop what you're doing and slap yourself in the face as hard as you possibly can.
Yeah. Try to get it right. But don't
do you mind that I pulled this up? Like, I feel like I should have asked your permission. I know it's a public website, but I feel like I should have asked your permission.
Oh, look at this. Look at this. Oh, we're getting the... All right. So this is Social Blade. So Social Blade is a tool that you can leverage to see potential monetization of YouTube channels.
It gives you an estimate. It'll tell you what they make even if they aren't monetized. It just gives it a rough guess based on views.
And you can kind of see how many subscribers you've gained throughout what is this, 14 days?
I lost 3 subscribers since announcing this podcast.
Sorry about that. If you're not subscribed to SheepStar, go get him those 3 subs back. Let's just break even here.
You're right.
because I feel horrible.
Yes.
I don't. That's the thing, though, is like I don't care. Like I look at the data because I like looking at data, but I just go, oh, neat, and then I go about my day. Like
Yeah.
It's funny.
People are going to sub or watch for whatever reason they want to watch and sub for. So it's not like a huge deal to me.
What happened here? What was this?
That was probably the Jimbo video. Because
Okay.
that video, because of the financial meltdown in my household after buying that product, my wife was not impressed. And it's
Got
like
it.
I went in that
So it
video.
went down after.
Yeah, so I went in that video and I said I never talk about subscriptions in videos, but I am also not making a cent yet from YouTube. I was just under 900 subs at that point, so I said I'm not making any money from this, but you know, this product was expensive, and just so you know, I haven't made any money. And a bunch of people just rallied together and got me over the 1,000 mark because I already had the hours. I just didn't have. Hey,
speaking of 1,000,
yay!
Look at that.
I was gonna say, I hope it didn't drop because that would
suck.
It was funny because when we were talking about this the other day, because I've been on Social Blade a few times.
Dang, you're buying coffee next week. Look at this.
Apparently. I popped in here after you guys were talking about this, and this is actually how I found out that I hit 1,000.
Oh, really?
Yes. And then because I saw like 1K here, I'm like, hold on. I'm like, I thought it was like views at the beginning. And then I looked closer, I'm like, hold on. And then I actually like, popped over to my YouTube studio. I'm like, oh, sick. Okay, cool. And
what was this bump in views here?
25. That's when I actually posted a video again. That was when I did, because
that's a nice little.
I took a bit of a hiatus because it was, cold as hell here and windy and miserable. And then I posted the beads video, which like my bottle says easy beads, but that being said,
something sad.
Oh yeah, I want to address this tone.
Man.
I haven't retested it yet, but I was actually thinking about it today. It's still a bit too cold. So I did see your comment. I did catch that. I haven't tested it yet.
Shout out to
I have 3 bottles of it now. I have 3 bottles of it now. One I bought, one from Carzilla, and one straight from Bradley from Florida. Because they tested it out and we're like, yes, this one works. Okay, send it to him. So
Brian, do you have a discount code for Carzilla?
They offered me one, I turned it down.
Oh, okay.
What I would love to do.
This man is like, he has values. This man has this, like, and he sticks to them.
So what I would love to do with it for a discount code, actually, I was thinking about this, would to be get a code that gives people a discount but doesn't pay me any money. And I could call it like Moron 10 or something like that. I think that would be like, that would be funny. But
a discount,
I don't
think
it's
it
worth
to the employees for like a team lunch or something. Like
put it in a fund. Those codes, right? Like you get a kickback, whatever the percentage is.
Yep.
And then they also give a discount. So they pay you and they take a hit. So it's like a double whammy for the people that give them out, right? So, like everyone at Carzilla has been super fantastic every time I've ever had to deal with them. I was like, why would I want to like take extra things and stuff? So it's just not my deal. I don't want to have something that's could potentially like skew. Not like for me, it wouldn't change the results. But like if you have a video where you have a lot of criticisms of a product, and then you're like, here's my code, but it's like, why?
Yeah,
like it's not going to perform very well. So
and the funny thing about that is, and full transparency, and you can ask any one of them, a discount code that does not gain you any money whatsoever is a discount code when you become a Grandambassador that gives you 0 money in return. And that's publicly on the record. Yes, they do send you.
If it's even used to like track in the decision making of the Grandambassador.
I know that
I really don't know. It's literally
obviously
just to help everyone.
They obviously have the ability to check those metrics because it's a discount code being applied to a site. That's pretty simple. But that being said, again, very open and honest about that. During that program, yes, you do get the care package, which can be seen as like a monetary compensation, if you will. but it's
Yeah, it's
product that it's an equal exchange of value for giving an honest opinion about it and helping out.
yeah, and like just the affiliate links are fully legally required to be stated, the terms and conditions and how they operate in the description where they are, right? Like there's no bones about it. The people that give you that link, you have to say that you get a kickback. It's part of the disclosure. So it's not really a wool over your eyes, and no one should go after a channel or a creator or whatever that uses it. That's nothing. Like you have full control whether or not that code gets used. And even with that honey scandal, like even sometimes depending if you were trying to help somebody, you may have not, just because you had the honey installed. So but they're not a bad thing at all. But
no,
if you're trying to create a channel where you don't want any outside influence over what you do, then that's something that could potentially weaken your argument.
I think
I don't think on general people are dishonest, but if you really want to stay away from that, don't do it.
I feel this a lot this week. I was talking to Alex about this, but I've just had this and this is a me thing, right? This is 100% just how I operate. But I've there's been for me a shortage of content on YouTube lately because I've been unsubscribing to channels who, in my eyes, I can't trust for an unbiased review anymore. You may say, "Oh, they sold out" or whatever, but there's money being exchanged, and I can't take that at its word anymore. So, to just kind of filter through it, I've unsubscribed to a lot of channels that I was subscribed to, which is super bummer. But I'm just trying to stay focused on what I consider honest.
Yeah, and I think clearly 2025 has been an interesting year for the YouTube detailing space. There's been a whole lot of things going on. And it's for somebody with a smaller channel, they can see these as awesome opportunities to grow, and they totally are. They totally are a way for you to grow, but you will start to narrow in on what you can and can't do, depending on who you link up with and what you want to say, or what you're allowed to say, or what you can and can't do.
XXM's about to get banned with comments like that.
But this is one of those things where you've got to look at it, because when I was starting out, if you tell I don't tell anyone I know about my channel, because mainly just because I don't want to explain the name SheepStar. What the hell are you doing? What is this? Are you into weird things with animals?
I feel like that's another Reddit rabbit hole, but
yeah. But when you're starting out testing products, you're shooting in the dark. You look at what people are doing, and you're looking at what's popular, and you're trying to copy a narrative potentially and get into that wave, or you're trying to go against the grain, but
holy hell.
Sorry, this is what a live podcast is.
I get it. Yeah. I had Jimbo throw me the curveballs when we did ours. So but you're trying to figure out what you should buy, and there was a point in time where I was just guessing, and there was a certain event that happened where I sort of said okay, I get it now. And for a long time I could not put into words what I was feeling. I felt okay, I know what I need to do with my channel now, and that's when I started appearing and all of the slight change in narrative. But then, and Alex, I know you'll know this quote. I watched this show, and I heard this line, and it made total sense. And the line is, if you don't know where to go, go where you're needed.
Yep.
And it was clear as day when I heard it. I was like, I know where I need to go, and I know what I need to do. I need to fill a hole that people were clearly not happy that was there.
And that's hard to recognize to be able to do that, because it's easy to kind of just follow the common trends. And and I'm not saying that any channel, whether it's YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, whatever, that you can only do one specific thing. Yes, that algorithm may work for you, but I mean, I enjoy the fun of it and being able to bounce around.
Mhm.
and again, to go where I think is a value added situation.
Yeah. And like not having a direction is some ways freeing because you're
Oh,
not
big time.
stuck. You're not stuck doing
The
that
Lakers
one
don't
thing
want
all
me.
the time. But it is, you should have some kind of a goal, some kind of a thing. But like, I really don't assign much of a goal. Like, I'm not, oh, okay, I have to hit X amount of subs by, this point in time.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I'm failing. I don't look at anything like that. But
Yeah. And the
yeah,
funny
like,
thing about that is, like, I remember it was probably last September, October, that I really wanted to make a goal to try and hit 1,000 by the end of the year on YouTube. Which, again, that number is irrelevant now that I've got there. Like, I don't feel any different. And
You don't feel like powered up. You don't feel like Thanos when he put the gauntlet on.
no, and like when December 31st hit, I'm just like, I'm not mad. I'm not upset because like
no,
I'm doing it for fun. And that was a big turning point of like, this is just fun for me.
yeah,
And the people that want to support you and the brands that want to support you will do that if you show the effort being put in. For those that tuned into last week's episode of Sydney and Kyle, that was a huge proponent of their message was everyone's emailing Autofiber or Kyle directly or PNS when both of them were there just alone, when Sydney's there just now, or Buff and Shine or whoever.
Yeah.
To just email, yo, I want free stuff.
Yeah.
Like, I mean,
bold.
Yes.
Bold strategy, Cotton.
You do
but,
you.
Yeah, exactly.
It's probably not going to work. But I've known people who have been very persistent, and it's just they've annoyed their way into things.
Closed mouths don't get fed, right?
Yeah.
Like whenever I see like an injustice at work, I'll go to my boss and be like, "Yo, like, what's going on here?" Because if I just sit there and let it fester, it's. Anyway, I digress.
Juice, that was an excellent comment. I like that one. But yeah, and it's like. It kind of reminds me of those job applications where they want you to have like all of this experience and stuff, but then they want to pay you an entry-level wage.
Yeah.
Where it's like you need all this experience to get the job, but you can't get the experience without getting the job.
Yep.
It's a two-way street. Like people are gonna, start a channel or whatever avenue and whatever platform. You do have to know when you suck. You gotta know. When I go back to my old videos, I'm like, oh yeah, I sucked.
Yeah.
But you got to know that you don't or do deserve, but you can't force anyone. You can't force anyone.
Stop it. That was quite the noise. What was
that? That was the dog getting upset.
Penny, it's okay.
Do you want to say hi to the doggy?
Absolutely.
Yes.
Oh, hello,
what's
doggy.
up, Penny? What a cute pup.
Hello. Hi.
Oh, hi, Penny. Hi, Penny.
If those haven't dropped a like for us talking, at least drop a like for the dog.
That's what
subscribe,
the dog is
thumbs
all
up.
About.
Yeah. Yes. How old is Penny?
She's 10.
You know what? Ever since having an older dog, for the last few years, like old dogs, like just have a special place in my heart. Like puppies
she's still spry, but her sleep to run ratio is drifting more with sleep. So.
Yes.
But,
hey, nothing wrong with
dogs
that.
Are the best,
nope.
man.
I love the fact that I can grab a toy and like go crazy with her, or I can sit on the couch and snuggle up. Like I like both. So
love that.
Okay, you have to go back in your chair.
So sheep, I'm gonna call you Sheep because like that's what I call you. When I say like my wife goes, "Who are you texting right now?" I'm like Sheep.
I'm Harry.
When I call you Sheep.
I'm Harry.
But yeah, the worst is when they reach out, they're not even following you.
Yes, I love that. Oh, Lord.
Yeah, that was a good one.
So when you decided to appear on camera with your handsome self, you decided to like debut some style of intros.
Yes.
Was that like on the fly, like on the first one, and you just kept going with it, or was this planned out?
So the intro thing. So for ranked reviews, the intros were because I was looking at how I would do this, right? And it's consistency.
Yeah.
Sorry, I think she wants to leave.
That's okay.
Bye, dog.
We're not offended.
That's okay.
She's probably gonna go poop somewhere.
Oh, great.
No one's home to take her out.
Oh no.
Yeah. I knew that the format of those videos was going to be very static and identical. So it's like I need to do something to make them have a little bit of a kick. And that first, YouTube's metrics always look at your audience retention in the first 30 seconds. So that first 30 seconds is very important to YouTube. So I was like, I should come up with something for an intro. And like in that video where I fell in the chair and stuff, I plagiarized the crap out of that style from a channel called Hand Tool Rescue. He's from Saskatchewan. He's a Canadian guy. He restores old antique tools, and he just inserts this stupid, clumsy, dumb humor like this in the middle of restoring a tool, which has no place, but it just catches you, and it's hilarious.
That's what I mean. It grabs your attention again, right?
Yeah.
Like if you're starting to fade.
Like he'll take a piece off, and if there's like a number stamped, he zooms in with like the X-Files theme starts playing, like it's a conspiracy, and like it's just super dumb things like that. But I just find it absolutely hilarious, and so I just sort of did that for the rank reviews just to make them a little bit more palatable, because it's
my favorite was your Australian one. I was like, it was like right before the video started, I was like, this guy's gonna be
someone's
upside down,
like,
and you were upside down.
Someone said they turned their phone. But
that's awesome.
It's gotten out of hand though, because now I'm looking at what products to test because of an intro. I think that's funny. Like I don't even want to buy the product, but because I thought up of an intro for a product, and I was like, I have to buy it now because I want to make this intro.
Yeah.
And I like, so it's like it's sort of turned into its own sort of animal.
It's evolving.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm excited to see where it goes from here.
It's definitely limited by filming on a rectangle, but
very true.
You've got your limitations there, but
the rank reviews seem to be killing it though. They seem to be getting a good reception. Like I checked the comments, like the comments are very engaging. Like someone's always got something good or bad or
and I want the feedback whatever way it comes in whichever tone. Like I want to know who if I've messed something up, and I know there's comments I've seen about Detailed Co Infinity. I have only retested it in that video. I haven't experimented with it since, but I am planning on off-camera testing and see if I can come up with a reason to make another video about that product. But after a while, you just gotta be like, you've talked about this thing 3 different times. Move on.
Have any brands or companies been like pissed off at your videos or
Nope. I don't do a ton of talking to brands.
True. But have they reached out with any? Is it common for them to reach out?
No, I think
okay.
Grand total probably 4 or 5 legit brands have reached out. But again, a lot of them. One of them was a affiliate link and product to go with the affiliate link, and I said no, thank you. Cerakote's reached out. I actually reached out to Cerakote first because I was trying to get that V1 ceramic coating. I wanted to test it myself.
Yes.
But they didn't have any. So they sent me their V2.
Still want it? I've got 2 bottles.
I ended up getting someone from a viewer that was unopened. Yeah. So awesome. I did put on the hood. I got slightly better results than some people, but it is now like it's still on the hood now, and it's 6-7 months in, and it's starting to slow down. Like Cerakote invited me to tour their facility after I did the rank review.
They seem to want to bring everyone to their facility.
I know. So they invited me after the rank review of their spray. And I was like, that's super cool. But traveling to the States, I have a full-time job. It's like, thanks, but no thanks. And they said, we figured you'd say that, but we wanted to offer anyways.
Nice.
Cool. They've been super nice people in the background. They have never once, like they sent me their soap and their ceramic interior thing.
Yeah.
And I said, like, I really don't do soap reviews.
Yeah.
And I don't detail cars often enough to give that kind of like interior type footage. And they're like, just consider it a gift. Just keep it so you don't care. So
and like, interiors are so really hard bad. Too. Like
it is. It's hard to film.
You gotta be like,
unless you're good. Bruce.
Yeah.
Bruce is like, here's a drone shot from inside the vehicle.
Yeah. What's good?
I lost my thought now. I can't remember what I was gonna say. But Yeah,
Interior soap
lost it.
reviews.
Soap, yeah. Give me all the soap. Like I've got all the soap. I'll do all the soap reviews. Follow me on Instagram and I'll do all the soap reviews. But I get it. Soap is just one of those things that, like, if you can't smell it through the screen, you can't touch it through the screen, you can't, like
no, you can't feel it.
We've all used soap.
You just got to take my word for it, or somebody, right?
Yeah.
Ghost. Nobody has reached out with any weird terms. If anyone reaches out, I just immediately tell them my terms, and they can take these terms or go pound sand.
That's what I was gonna say. Like, back to our episode with Sydney and Kyle last week. Like, this kind of goes hand in hand with, like, building that relationship with the company, right? Or
there's
friendship
people there too.
Exactly. Like they said, just take this as a gift, right? Like you built that friendship or relationship to the point where now they want to send you something.
Yeah,
You're not like
and they don't
messaging
care.
them, give me free shit. Exactly.
Yeah.
Like, so that's an example of just be real, be authentic, and if you align with the company's values, then a good relationship will probably come out of it.
Yeah. And well, I'll give you an example of something that is
we are 18.
So, like, sponsored content in detailing is this, it's hyper taboo. It's just nobody can do it ever publicly and just disclose it. It's not tolerated.
Right.
It's tolerated everywhere else. And you need what they do differently in other genres is they make an example, and it's almost like the brands, like, don't take this literally, but like the brands are scared of the creators. They do not want them upset at them or their product. But you can watch, like, and I watch a lot of computer tech type. Despite the audio issues we had trying to get this podcast started, I do know quite a bit about computers. But like, I watched, like, Linus Tech Tips. He's a Canadian guy. I watched that channel. He's got over 16 million subscribers. And he'll have a video. Their sponsor is a gag. Their sponsor reveal is a gag in their channel. And in here, it's like, how dare you talk about sponsorships? It's like a totally different world. And they'll do a full video where they're like, this entire video is sponsored by this brand, and we're going to use this cup, and we're going to show you how it works. And I'll watch the whole damn thing because they were upfront about it. They were upfront. They said, hey, it's sponsored. This isn't a review, but I don't care. You've told me that bit. I get it. I want to see how it works anyways. I want to see the product. Those are better forms of commercials. Right? And they do neat and fun things. And obviously, when you've got that size of a channel and the resources, you can do some neat and fun things. But like, it's not a taboo thing. It's just, it seems to be like you have to, content creators are, like the title says, they're siding with brands right now. And content creators are where they are because of the viewership and consumers. Full stop. It's not professional detailers. I don't have 2,400 brands subscribe to me. I have 2,400 people subscribe to me, which blows my mind every day that many people. Obviously, there's a lot of dead subs probably in there now, but that many people actually give a crap. But
the whole dead subs thing brings up a good point, which, Joe, I don't know if that's going to be our next talking point, but there's certain organic growth that I really focus on, because it will benefit me zero to be purchasing subs or like inorganically acquiring subs, or like trying to post the most clickbait type thing, which, I mean, yes, sure, you can make the argument that clickbait has its place, but I don't see the benefit of, like, yes, there are channels that do benefit, from monetization quite a bit, but a lot of the bills that are being paid to these creators are by the sponsors. It's not so much just,
it's not AdSense, right? It is not AdSense.
10, 15 years ago, maybe that was a different conversation, but now, I mean, it's,
no, YouTube nerfed the payouts compared to 10 years ago or whatever it was. They don't pay as much.
Buying followers, I don't know what that does for you. Like,
it's a risky move. It is a short-term game, muchly long-term loss. It's not something that, especially if you buy it in a volume where it's like, no way you did that legitimately. Like if tomorrow, if in 2 weeks' time I had 40,000 subscribers, you'd be like, what the hell? How did you? That's not possible.
I'm gonna keep
You don't
an
have
eye
the
on your
views.
social blade.
You don't have the
Don't
views.
you worry.
Yeah, you don't have the views to support that. You don't have the comments to support that.
It just hurts you in the long run, right? Because you
faking
have
it.
this number. You know what? I had a friend years ago. He was obsessed with how big of a following he could get on Twitter, and I would like see the tabs on his computer of the different sites he was buying followers from, and I was just like,
that's
why
are you obsessed?
Because,
if you're buying it, you don't need to obsess. You're just buying
but
it.
like, but the engagement isn't there, right? You might have he might have gotten his 1 million subscribers on Twitter, but only 300 people are replying to him every day.
Yeah.
It doesn't the math ain't mathin'.
Math ain't mathin', baby.
Bruce in left field buying his wife, not subs.
Holy
that's some good humor.
Oh my god.
How funny would it be if, like, you know, I love Bruce, I love the bald, you know, like I'm sure we're all gonna be bald someday, but maybe he's just like walking around. It's like, hey, you're getting blinded by my head. Here's some sunglasses. Let's go on a date or something. I don't know.
You just keep worried about all those free products you get. The followers will come.
Rick, holy Lord, what a guy. Love this guy. Now, Rick gets a ton of stuff. I mean, sorry, let me rephrase. He doesn't get a ton of stuff, but it's so funny when there's times where he doesn't even ask for stuff, and companies will send it to him, and UPS sends him an email like, "Hey, Rick, us again. Here's your receipt for $300." Rick's like, "I didn't ask for this."
Yeah,
and Brian, I'm sure you're the same way. I've had, you know, I've been, again, I'm fortunate. Like if I'm getting, let's call it $100, $200, $300, $400 for the product, and you got to pay, like, you know, let's argumentative sake, let's call it 25%. You know, if I got to spend $100 on $400 for the product, that's a pretty good return.
It is, if you
especially
really
if you're expecting it, sure. But if you're not expecting it, it's like, oh my geez.
Listen, when I'm in charge, I'm going to get rid of all of that. Like,
if I got $1,000 of free product and I had to spend $50, I'd be getting a strip torn off me. The wife handles the money, guys. I have no control. It's that South Park meme. It's like, here's my paycheck and it's gone.
It's easier that way.
It's so much easier. But no, like Jimbo, when Jimbo he refunded me for Harder Shell because I really didn't have it perform well. And he sent me Toughest Shell and his magic pure magic cleaner, and then I had to spend $60 on the duty to just get the free products. Like Jimbo can't send me free product. It's impossible because I'll have to pay the duty.
I think it, like, and honestly, it depends because you know, the big ones in the US are obviously FedEx, UPS, USPS,
DHL, I think is
DHL off the top of my head. So like, because in Canada, like if you go USPS, it'll transfer to our national carrier, which is Canada Post, our national mail service, I should say. But we also have Purelator, which is kind of I don't know if
they're owned by Canada Post, apparently.
Okay, yeah. And then obviously we have FedEx and UPS as well. But I mean, like, holy moly. I mean,
you know what? I bought something yesterday from a company with American in the name, and I had to pay for expedited shipping to get it before my trip because I looked up where this American company's headquarters is, and it's Ontario, and I was very confused. Very confused.
Not Ontario, California.
No,
Ontario,
it was Canada.
Yes.
Yeah.
A wonderful Ontario.
We have a. I want to save time for Q&A. I want to respect everyone's time. But you did have one other topic of discussion, which is just very relevant. But your take on it was, so everyone has a podcast, but your take on it was forcing success, and I wanted to kind of flesh that out more.
Oh, I think
by that.
I think it kind of tied in with what we were talking about with what Sydney and those guys said, like, just going out and asking for the product and, like it just seems like the fake it till you make it sort of vibe, like, I don't know if you guys have been seeing it lately, but I've like when I'm watching a video, you'll have that, the feed of videos beside you. And it's like a live stream that aired like 2 days ago from somebody, and they have like the thumbnail looks like somebody put some time and effort into it, and it has like 5 views. And I'm like, this is why I don't do lives. I don't want to do a live and just be like, it made 5 views in it. Also, anytime I film between like 9:30 p.m. and midnight, that's when I'm in the garage. That's why I look like a train wreck half the time, because it's after a full day of work. I have been weathered. Gravity has hit me for 12 hours straight beyond, and I like that's when I have to film, because that's when people are asleep.
Do you film and edit right away?
No, I can't for ranked reviews. I film the application the day I'm applying them to the panels.
Because I guess what I'm asking is, there's times when like I will go to bed, and then we all know that my insomnia kicks in, and I'll put the TV on just for noise, and I'm like, it's 3 a.m. There's a new SheepStar video.
Yeah,
so then
I don't schedule.
Hey, and you guys are the same time zone, so hey,
I know.
Yeah. So I don't schedule my releases. Once it's exported, it goes straight up, and then first puts his comment on the video right away.
Shout out to him
before I can even upload the thumbnail from my phone.
I swear he has an alarm. It literally wakes him up, and he has to like
YouTube notifications. They don't work that well.
No,
there's no way.
I have like I'll
He's
put
got a
like
setup.
Yeah, I have like the bell turned on, subscribe, like, all notifications, and I'll get like random channels that I subscribed to like years ago and have nothing turned on.
I don't use notifications, and I got an Omni Garage one today, and I was like, I didn't know what this email was about. I thought I won something.
But the king, I will say, the king of scheduling is Mr. Rad Garage. He is the king of scheduling, because he'll be like, he'll work on something, but again, it's not rushed. He finishes some stuff, and he's like, "Hey, it's gonna be 2 weeks." I'm like, "Why?"
I wish I could filter
though.
I wish I could filter though, because there's times when some that I subscribe to, like, even the Rad Company, if there's a live, use TRCMA for example, right? Like there's 4 lives scheduled, and then that takes up space in my feed. Like I wish I could just be like, show me just. Same thing with shorts. Like when I'm looking at it on the TV, I don't want the shorts. I don't want to watch the shorts on my TV.
No.
So don't show me them in my subscriptions. But anyway,
just remove it. Yeah. No, I've actually gotten notifications for my own videos the day after I've uploaded them.
That's so wild.
Like it's my own video, and I get it in like a day later, but first is already there. Like,
but with
have you
with
seen
the whole
videos of the guys playing Pokemon Go, and they've got like a peacock of phones?
Yes.
That's what I envision Alberto to have. For every subscription.
What I don't, and like kind of tying back again, we keep touching on it, but the asking for stuff for free. I actually learned that lesson, and I was about 11 or 12 years old. Because when I was a kid, I really got into snowboarding, and it was like right after I created like my first email address, and I actually emailed Burton Snowboards to be like, hey, will you sponsor me? I had I don't know why I remember that email, but I had zero context in the email. I just said, hey, sponsor me. And I was like, maybe.
What was your email address? What did
it was a greasy Hotmail address that I will not say on here. And
I can only imagine.
Oh, Hotmail.
And it was,
I remember when that came out, and our parents were just like, is this porn? I'm like, no, it's just email.
And so we and I was just shocked that they replied, and they they had a very thoughtful reply, and they said, hey, like, we don't just sponsor anyone, like, we
show
actually look for people. Show us a trick when I I was struggling to get down the mountain, for God's sakes.
He couldn't buckle himself in.
But that was the initiation of like Shaun White, the Salt Lake City Olympics, I think, were like just coming up. Everyone's still on a high from Nagano, and like the Canadian got caught smoking weed and like
The
got his medal
performance
taken
enhancing
away. Like, you know, that was just as a performance
There's
enhancer.
nothing
I
fucking
remember that.
enhanced about my performance.
Yeah.
No, he's taking his sweet ass time.
But like, I don't know what that set me up for life and was like, okay, this is the point where I need to like earn it. And then, once I got the rabbit hole of detailing, it was kind of the, getting Rick's rejects, in the middle of a pandemic, trying to figure out how to get free product. And,
Yeah, like
I love that. That's how I Rick's video is how I discovered who Alex was. Like I hadn't watched the Cleaner
Hell
cast or
yeah.
anything, right? Like that's how I discovered who
RIP.
Alex was. And
Yeah.
then Sheep, like I know he had videos before, but I didn't discover him until I had seen his name on Reddit a few times, and I was like, I like what this guy's saying. I was like, and he keeps saying he's got a channel. Let me go check it out. So like that,
I don't
it's
do
just,
a lot of that, but like there was
No.
just so many people saying, "Where do I go now?" And I'm like, me.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah. If there was a time to plug someone, or
Right.
plug yourself, I think that was it, and I think that transitions nicely into our Q&A. Bruce had one that says, "How do you determine who to trust on YouTube?"
That is a fantastic question.
I'm a big believer in watching everybody's content on a specific thing. So I don't watch just one channel review that product. I watch everybody, and I try and find the common denominator.
Yes.
Like-
one thing I really appreciate with YouTube is even if a company will like send me product, for free, but they don't ask for anything in return, for those that aren't familiar with uploading a YouTube video, is that there's an actual checkbox of like paid promotion, if you will.
Yeah.
Right. And depending on the situation, I usually do check that off. Just for the simple fact of like saving my butt. So like if there's creators that, and that when you watch them, it'll say like paid content or whatever. But, even as we touched on earlier, is if you are getting a kickback, like that is part of the terms. If you actually read it, if you sign any kind of agreement or check a little box for a EULA, is you do have to be transparent with that stuff.
So I asked this question on my Instagram last week, I think, and I said, if a content creator is on a payroll for a company and they are making a product video of something sold at this company, but it wasn't provided to them, maybe they purchased that, do they still disclose that it's a sponsored video because they are on payroll?
I would.
And it was an overwhelming 92% of people who voted said yes.
Yeah.
They
And
that should be.
I think even too, like you have large creators, that aren't directly affiliated, like let's call it a contract, if you will.
Yeah.
That, like the big creators will have to put like hashtag ad or something like that in front of a
Yeah,
post.
I've seen that.
Right.
seen
So
Yeah.
honestly, if you're engaging in a contract that's legally binding, whether you're employed or not, I think it needs to be there.
Like if every episode I was pushing you guys on AirPods and I was like, yo, go get these AirPods. And I didn't tell you that I was employed by Apple, but you were making my stock price go up or your whatever. Like, I don't know. I just think ethically that
and that's the other thing too, right? It's like there's the ethical side and then there's the legal.
I don't give a fuck side too.
Yeah. And ethics is, I think, should be the driving force of decisions. And
money
like
is.
Yes, but like if I don't even know where I was going to go with that, but yeah, I just think like it should feel like you should feel you have to do that.
Yeah,
like you should want to do that. You should want to disclose the fact that you work XYZ or you whatever the terms may be. Just get it out of the way. Don't let it potentially bite you in the ass down the road.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Just boom, done and over with.
No one's going to care. Trust me, no one's going to care.
Literally, no one.
You'll probably get more respect than less, to be honest.
Agreed. Bro Dizzle's Dazzle Detailing, which took me, I don't know, almost 2 years to be able to pronounce. Brian, did you ever hear from Ivan about your results from DIY's water spot remover?
I did that video because of something he commented in an email. He said I would be surprised because I used a different water spot remover. And he said you should try ours, and I happened to have it sent to me by a viewer, And then I did, and then that's what spurred the whole thing. I didn't start that video because I was like, I should try another water spot remover because I know my water here is not hard.
So
Yeah.
Yeah. Like my TDS, I think, is below 20 on the tap.
Oh my god.
That's insane.
I'm like
It's insane.
375, which is
I know. I've
still
been to
pretty
Alberta
good.
before, and you go and like shower, and you're like, well, I guess
This guy's
there's
got
no
the
bubbles
cleanest
today.
ice cubes, the purest ice cubes from the tap.
Man.
Yeah. You know,
Probably still
everything is
complains.
tap. Everything
beautiful
runs
thing.
off the tap. There's no softener. There's no filters. Nothing.
Do you
That's
use
the
water
lower main.
filters for drinking inside?
Trust me, you
That's
don't need it.
wild.
If
That
you
is
ever come
awesome.
up here, just go into your hotel or wherever you're staying and just get it cold and drink it right from the tap.
If I'm coming there, I'm staying with one of you guys. There's no hotels.
His water's not like mine.
No,
That's fine.
my water's
I'm
hot
I'm
ass.
sleeping in that bed with Penny back there.
Yeah. Well, she's upstairs barking. That's what she wanted to do.
You know what?
He's
Shout out to
Sheep's
my
about-
new AirPods. I was able to hear the barking, and I was like, "Where's the barking
Yeah.
coming from?"
Sheep's
I
about
kicked everyone
1,000. Sheep's about 1,000 kilometers west of me.
Go
Yeah,
buy some
for the
AirPods.
good
Go buy
12
some
hours.
AirPods.
600
Apple.com.
Oh my god, what is this?
Sorry.
What are we gonna use code like listen in 10?
I don't have a
On
code.
10.
I don't have a code. Is that
Go on,
ethical? If I tell you go buy,
Who
then I don't have a
who
code?
can we contact at Apple for like a discount code? Is that even a thing? That'd be hilarious. If there was
Apple
like
doesn't
some
do a lot of discounting.
if there was like a
No.
guy,
When I
Very
worked
good.
at the
I guess
Apple store, one of my favorite things were the people that would line up on Black Friday for deals, and it'd be like $100 off of a $1,700 Mac, and people are like, "What? Like no 75% off iPods?" And it was funny. It was.
I
a funny
remember
thing.
I remember like the infancy of like the Beats Apple collaboration
Yeah,
where my parents bought a MacBook and they got the free headphones with it.
free
And I'm like,
beats with it. Yeah.
This is cool.
When I got
And I think
hired,
that-
it was students. If they bought a computer, you got a free iPod Mini.
Well, and I think there was
Oh.
one where like you could get. I think my parents got like a free printer one year.
Yep,
If you bought like
the
an
printer
iMac
was,
or something.
printer was an ongoing deal.
Yeah,
I can't believe I remember this. This is 20
printers
years
are
ago.
printers are just freaking e-waste now.
Like we used to
but-
open the Apple store and we'd wait around for about 2 hours for a customer to show. Like that's the Apple store I worked in. It wasn't the flooded Apple store like it is
Yeah.
today. It was we were
You
waiting.
You know what?
Yeah.
I've never gone to an Apple store and felt extra crowded. I guess maybe this is a Canada thing versus the States, but I've never felt like I had to I was like, I'm in a lineup.
Oh no, dude!
Just never
Sometimes
felt
it was like a mosh pit in there. Like
Okay.
I'm just trying to come back from
That's
my
a
lunch break.
Canada-US difference then.
Yeah,
We're
It's
not nearly as
insane.
busy.
Hey Sheep, have you been offered any products or have a brand reach out to you? That we
No,
contact-
I did that one. No,
touched on that
nobody.
one.
Oh, look, the dog's back.
Um,
You done barking?
Don't bark,
Sheep,
how
what
about
do you
that?
think your audience consists of more? Professional detailers or people washing their cars at home?
Ooh, I like that.
Definitely people at home.
Yeah.
I'm not offering anything that a professional is going to benefit from. I'm not a professional detailer. I don't
Mhm.
tell people how to wash a car.
But they might still
Especially
watch
with,
your video.
like-
If they've got that mindset that you do of watch everyone's stuff about this product,
Yeah,
they might be
yeah,
watching you.
but I'm not testing pro products.
Yeah.
Like I actually don't own any Koch Chemi products currently. I have
You're
none.
missing out.
I know.
I spoiled myself with my
I see
Erecom
that.
gift card.
You're
I did
reminding
this-
me
this
every
was-
day
this
about
was
the things
someone
I-
else's money.
I went Bill
Yeah.
Camber for the foam. I went
Nice.
Bill Camber. So
Nice.
that's I have to keep buying autofoam now for the rest of my life because of ranked reviews.
You need a 55-gallon drum.
Yeah. I don't want to know
And-
how much that would cost. I've seen
We
how much
use
it
liters
costs
up
in the
here. Okay.
Sorry, Bill Tamper, if you're
200
watching, send this man
205 liters.
Yeah.
send this man a drum with no expectations.
Yeah,
Um,
I would not want to know what that duty charge is.
Sheep, do you ever get products you're super excited to try and feel let down and feel bad when they don't perform as expected? I felt bad that ADS CSS performed kind of poorly, and I tried it 3 times.
That was my ammo experience. I'm
Were you
still
sad about it?
ongoing.
Like you wanted it to be good?
It's like it's ammo, man. Like
Yeah.
it's ammo. You know, you're like, oh yeah, I
You
get
think
it.
it's going to be great?
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't give a verdict on it because I'm still
Mhm.
hashing out. We're still also cold. You know, there's a whole bunch of conditions that I want to normalize for.
Holy God. No.
No, I don't own
I can
KC,
smell
but
that
I
from
know
here.
what that is.
See, like,
That's
Chromatic-
Terminator in a
Chromatic will just like on a Friday, he'll soak down all those greasy ass nasty BMW parts and go home for the weekend, and like they'll come back just shiny,
Can I use that to
No
clean
work,
my
touchless.
barbecues? Is it work good on my barbecue?
Probably, dude. That would probably bring.
I use
that'll
oven
take any
cleaner on
seasoning
those
off.
things. Yeah, the oven cleaners hits something different.
I use Ulex in the garage with the door open on a very nice day with a fan on, and I still almost passed out.
You know what? I almost bought it.
Yeah,
but I was like, I should try tea first.
What I would do is either try tea first, or if you are at a facility where they have like a liter or so of Ulex, you could put it in a very small container, such as 4 to 8 ounces, perhaps. Take that home, label it, for the love of God, label it, and use that because like I had the liter bottle and I've maybe used like 3 or 4 ounces out of it, and like
it's like a tar sort of remover. Thing,
it's
right?
it.
You don't need it in a massive quantity usually,
like,
as a home gamer.
That's like you buy it once every few years, kind of thing.
They also don't seem to go bad too, though. Which is kind of nice. Those
the bottle will probably fail before the product.
It's a borderline legal.
The product will make the bottle fail.
Yeah,
I had a Tolko sprayer inside of inside of an APC bottle, but it was a smaller bottle, so like the straw had to bend a little bit, and it had been in there for probably like 6 months, and I opened it up the other day, and right where it was bent, the APC ate right through it. So
really?
I had to toss out that Tolko sprayer. Sheep, did you try the new Cerakote Platinum Rapid sealant?
Yes.
So care to give a little spoiler?
I don't have a spoiler because I haven't checked in, but the spoiler will be it is in the next round of rank reviews.
Right.
Bruce is right. Wear a respirator.
Wear a respirator. Don't do this. Bruce gets real mad if you start.
Oops.
But it smells so good. It honestly smells like a shower body wash. Like it smells like it's got cocoa butter in it.
Dang. I'm just like picturing that now, like a Suave bottle at Walmart of like.
It smells really good. Like I honestly, like I was when I had seen this like in the stores, like I was just like, I don't know, this is probably not that good. It doesn't look that great, or I mean, it doesn't not look great. It's just I was just like, I don't know.
Remember
it
it
have
was
fancy shiny stuff all over it.
The guy in New York that does like the product reviews. He has his own line, like the Auto Fanatic.
Auto Fanatic. Yeah.
I remember when he did those, because like that guy would just like roll through cars, and I'm like, he would just like have like all the new, and I'm like,
I never knew what the background was. I didn't know if he like owned a car dealership or what. I didn't know.
Or in the mafia.
Possible with his region.
Yes, that's a quick jump to conclusion, but
that's called the stereotype.
It is, yes. So,
do we have any other questions?
I think that's about it. There's just a lot of Ulex related ones.
Repost your questions if we missed it.
If we missed it, did you want to touch on anything else like that we didn't get to touch on? The floor is yours.
I think we sort of got it all. I think
according to my list, yes. Just making
I'm gonna make a bet.
Unless you guys have a question you haven't asked yet, or
I have a statement for Juice Free, because I know that he wants an apron with a clay pocket.
I still don't know how that functions without just ruining.
I know, but
clay. I love that he comments it every live.
If we can get Juice Free on the show, I'll add I'll ask the important people at TRC if we can make that happen.
Ooh.
So I have zero pull whatsoever, but the question is going to be asked.
They've answered that question before.
I know, but it's never in person. It's always digital.
I don't know what this means.
I know where the owners sit, so they'll probably tell me to pound sand, but sheep bulbs or OG?
He said Bubba or OG. I don't know what that means.
Sheep Bubba.
Who's Bubba?
I'm new to the.
Does he mean bubble
universe.
tea? I like bubble tea.
Boba?
Oh yeah, Dizzle.
Boba? Is that what he's talking about?
I don't know.
Steve wants to know where you see your channel going over the next year.
Up naturally and organically.
That's pretty much it. It'll go wherever people take it.
If go to socialblade.com, search for this man's channel, and you can see all the transparency you need to see.
Yeah, the money on that site it's fairly close to what I see in the app. But I've heard from some people in other areas that once you get a bit bigger, it gets
I've heard
reports.
I've heard Social Blade be
sense.
super hit and miss.
Yeah, it's hit or miss. They give a huge range, and mine's like right at the top of the range, essentially, that they give.
Yeah.
So
$0 to $1 billion.
It's a good starting point when you're looking at analytics. For it's not the whole picture, but it's a good starting point.
You don't go to it for the monetization side. You go to it for the view count and the sub count.
Yeah,
that will tell you whether things are trending in a certain way.
Very cool.
Bro Dizzle asked again. I did do another video of that already with a damp towel. I wrung it out a lot, just because I didn't want to have too much water in there. That could potentially just mean wiping up water all the whole time.
Yeah.
It got a bit better, but it still was not good.
Look at that. On the big, I hope we're in 4K, enthusiast.
Hell yeah. Well, we're in 720p because that's all we pay for.
I saw that when it's like, what setting would you like, auto or 720p? I'm like,
God, you're going back to your leaky days.
We did 1080 like one of our first shows, and like Doer was like a flip book, so I don't think we've done 1080p since then. So we were like, why even pay for it?
The 1080 plan is way more money for some reason, which doesn't make a lot of sense.
4K on YouTube is also behind premium now. They've
like to watch it.
I pay for premium. It's literally YouTube's like literally the only thing I watch. People
you
watch
can.
The show yet?
They don't. They don't let you have 4K. At least that's what they were planning to do. I don't know if they changed it, but they were putting 4K behind a paywall.
I do consume a metric boatload of content via YouTube.
Yeah, I don't have cable.
When my wife flips to her profile on the TV, she like the family plan got too expensive for especially because she never uses it. So when we go to when she's on hers, like she's like trying to show me something, and the ads pop up, and I'm like, I think
the Canadian premium, I want to say, is like 20 something bucks a month.
It includes
the
like
family thing is like 30 or more or something, and I'm like, it's not worth it.
Yeah, it's like think of all the subscriptions you have to pay for these days. I just want to spend like $150 a month and have access to everything out there.
Yeah,
I'll pay a huge fee if I don't have the hassle of like 6 different.
You want a cable package, but for streaming.
Apparently,
everything, music,
premium,
video, all of it. Just put it all into one thing, one price, and I'll pay it.
So premium's only $13 a month. Only.
Nice.
But how many how many active logins?
The family's $23, and you can have up to 5.
That's not bad.
So,
but like that's just YouTube. And it's the other thing too. When YouTubers do sponsored content, what do they do in their video? They bake in their ad section.
Yeah.
Yep.
So you pay for premium, you aren't skipping that ad because it's part of the content.
And I'll be the first.
Still, kind of makes it hard for me to justify. I don't have it. But.
I'll be the first to admit, even though the creators have absolutely zero control over what ads appear in their videos, as far as I know,
you can
aside from, like you said, being baked in. But like, if I ever see an ad for a product on YouTube or like any video streaming platform, that just wants to deter me from purchasing said product at all, right? It's like, okay, you just ended that possibility,
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's weird, like what products they put with what videos and stuff like that. Yeah,
I
leave it wherever they put it.
I don't know if it's because I have a plugin on my browser, but like, or if it's YouTube, but you can see like the most frequently like replayed section or the most frequently skipped section, and I always think it's hilarious when it's one of the baked in ads.
That's built into YouTube.
I couldn't remember because
if you hover over the line, you can see the spikes. Yeah,
when it says like most skipped and it's like that the baked in ad, I'm like, props.
I love some of the long form creators when they do, and I mean like, and I will say that Larry's guilty of this as well. But there's some long form content where it's very engaging, it's somewhat serious, it's very good, and then they transition to like a meal service ad. That's baked in, or like they'll go from really serious to like really happy, and like they'll be talking about like, I subscribe to like a lot of aviation related channels, and there's somewhere like they investigate like aircraft accidents and stuff like that, and be like, I couldn't find info about this aircraft accident without NordVPN. I'm like, God, go away! Like, oh my Lord.
Yeah,
nobody
when
cares.
it's completely out of left field, you're like, whoa, okay, that's a stretch.
Fred, shake your sandwich. I agree. I do have
still a ways away from each other.
But
Canada's big.
But I do have some family on the West Coast, not overly far from where Sheepy is.
It's nice of you to call me your brother.
Yeah.
That's very
it's
nice
only it's only a the ferry from Victoria to Vancouver. I'm not sure. I've been on it, but I don't remember how long it was.
I think I think we need to add Sheep to our irregular Saturday Canadian plus Joey
Bree shot. Yeah.
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 I think he's worthy. Did we answer this question yet? Sheep, are you an automotive enthusiast or detailing enthusiast? What's the coolest vehicle you've owned?
I used to do car things, and then I got mortgages and families, and then I was like, I just need it to start. That's why there's a Honda and Toyota in my driveway and nothing else.
Nothing wrong with that.
No,
you know what?
I succumbed. I work in the automotive industry, and I've driven anything and everything you can imagine. Most things.
Damn right.
It's fun to go, I'd love to take that Porsche for a rip and then give it back and not own the problems. So
yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Like, I'm a rent it type guy. I don't want to put a ring on those things.
I will say that as Joey and I being Volkswagen enthusiasts, the Humble Mechanic posted a video. Has Volkswagen lost its soul? Which was a fantastic, deep cutting video.
Very well made video. Shout out to Humble Mechanic.
And I agree with 100% because I've been thinking about this recently because when I first got into the Volkswagen scene, I mean, yes, there was some peer pressure with friends, but it was, I had no problem doing it, I still stayed modest with it, and I agree. Like there's no really cool cars that, Volkswagen
not many brands have really cool.
And the Mark 8 GTI is what made me have the same feeling that Charles had.
Yeah. And honestly, you could take like a run-of-the-mill sedan, and if you put a sexy color on it, it will get my attention more than really anything. But I actually saw a meme today where it's like, hey, I see that purple Lamborghini that Larry was detailing that was like $700,000.
Yeah.
If you see that versus like a 2000 Z24 Cavalier that's mint, I'll probably look at the Cavalier more than the Lamborghini.
Yep.
It's just more interesting.
Enough. Yes, exactly.
Just more interesting. Yeah, I grew up I was like a Honda guy, so I had Civics. So I had 89 Civic hatch.
If they weren't 90 grand, I would.
I want one. Should we split it and
those are expensive.
You get it half the year, I get it half the year?
Yeah.
What color would you get? I think I'd get the obnoxious yellow.
I'd have to get the crippling debt blue, but
Christ. Yeah, getting in like the Mark 8 GTI, I felt like the current US president getting in a Tesla and saying, "Wow, everything's computer." Like it's what I didn't it's what I did not want in the car.
It's like a golf cart.
I'll give you
fast.
I'll give you a good one. I've driven every generation of the NSX, including the new one. The only one.
You know what? When I was looking up your social blade, I wasn't sure I had the right profile because I don't think I've ever realized that your profile picture is an NSX.
It's my photo of an NSX that I've taken them for photo shoots and stuff. But
I think
I've
my
driven
favorite
track prep too, like balls to the walls NSXs. And to go from the old manual full, like the guy who runs a car club here at a local store, I've driven his car and I've driven the new ones. And you talk about stark contrast between like the world's best driving car that nobody bought until it was way too late versus the new version, which is like a hybrid, and like the contrasting opinions of that. I will say this, if you ever get a chance to drive the new NSX, you have to do it because
will I fit in it?
Maybe it's actually pretty good. It fits helmets, so you might be okay. Might be okay.
Not sure my pay stub will qualify for a test drive when I go to the Acura dealership.
They're not going to depreciate either.
Yeah,
people are hogging it. They were made to order, so people they're not many are being sold, but everyone being made is sold. So But yeah, when I drove it the first time, I was grinning ear to ear, and it doesn't matter. Like, yes, it's not the lightweight thing, but that never was what the NSX was supposed to be.
Yeah.
Everyone got this narrative that was wrong. It was the most Honda could produce at the time, technologically speaking, in a car, and this was the new version. Oopsie. But yeah, it fucking hauls ass. It's sub 3 seconds to 60. It snaps your neck back. It's an absolute ride. If you ever get a chance to drive one, just drive it.
Is that one you would want to own or no?
I would totally own one. It's not punishing to own, like cost wise either.
I drove, I want to say it was an AP1 S2000, like the first ones.
The 9,000 RPM boys.
Yeah. And because a buddy of mine, we were detailing his, and I drove, because like he dropped it off, or no, either way, it got to my house, and we were detailing it, but we had to take it back to him. Yeah. And I drove it like 10 kilometers, and that thing was bone stock, and it was freaking awesome. Yeah. I never got past 80 kilometers an hour, but I'm like, this is freaking sick.
Yeah, they're great. Cool. Funny enough, I have a buddy with an AP1 that I detailed, and it's a great car. He's done a lot of the mods. Like he's a very smart tinkering kind of guy. He knows his stuff. So he's done all the panel swaps, because Honda's Lego. Like that's Honda's draw for a lot of people, is that you can just swap whatever you want. All the Honda generations, they had made improvements to the glass instead of plastic in the rear window, the covers, the leather instead of carpet. So he did all the tweaks to his, but his was in a massive accident. That's why he got it for a good price. And that repair job is starting to sort of show its signs of being.
And as being an Obsessed Garage fanboy, I have realized that also, I mean, Porsches, I've heard as well, are very easy to take apart and put back together. And acquiring parts after the fact, they do have after sales support.
Porsches,
yeah,
they support their classic program very thoroughly. It's not cheap, but they will take. Like I've seen a Porsche dealership with a classic on a rotisserie in the shop, doing a full top to bottom redo on it. Like cost no object, they'll do it for you, but cost it's not cheap.
Yeah.
What do I do for a living? I said I work.
Do you want to maintain the mystery?
I work in the auto industry. That's all you need to know. Nobody talks about the auto industry outside the auto industry. It's like Fight Club. You want to talk? You want to know about that? You got to join it.
You know what's funny? And I'm sad to admit this fact, but I actually just watched Fight Club for the first time like a month ago. I had never watched it before.
You know what? I think I've only seen it one time, like when it came out, and I think I need to rewatch it.
And I was expecting.
If I may have,
it's not what I expected. Let me just say that.
Yeah,
much. Like because I'm watching. I'm like, okay, where's it coming? Where's it coming?
I will never forget though the quick, like after I went to the cinema after seeing Fight Club, and the whole thing of the when you see the, oh my God, what's it called? When you see the film change, when you see the roll change, that little thing that's supposed to like
the
pop
transition
up,
or whatever you want to call it.
Exactly. And am I remembering it? It's in Fight Club, right? Don't they go over like what that is?
Yes, they do.
Okay. I'm just making sure. Yeah,
because that's like his job at the beginning.
Yeah, that's my fondest memory of all I can really remember from the movie. So I should rewatch it.
Yeah. Maintenance wash, I don't get a ton of time to do it, so I just usually do a foam and a wipe down. I don't even do the rims every week. Like I keep my cars kind of nasty for content purposes.
Yeah, that's the secret. If you're making content,
right? Like
you
I don't
clean the wheels every week.
No, the van is only protected on the hood and the sliding doors. The rest are bare, haven't even been polished.
My obsessive nature will not allow me to do that. I don't like to say OCD because I know that's a diagnosed problem, like not problem, but condition. Like that's why it's called disorder.
Yeah, it's a tendency. You have a tendency.
Yeah, so I like to say that I have obsessive tendencies or an obsessive nature, but I couldn't do that. I've thought about it. Like even just having like 2 or 3 different coatings on my car currently bothers me.
Yeah,
because it's not one consistent thing. So props to you.
Yeah, my hood I'm testing 9 products on the hood of the Prius right now as a lead up to a real world test. Like this is like tryouts essentially.
Yeah,
because I don't want to have like a product that has gone off or isn't doing what I think it should be doing. in a long-term video. That's a wasted spot. Let's put something there that's actually going to show up.
Yeah.
So
That's a good approach.
It's like I have this downtime because I wanted to wait for it to warm up anyway. So it's like I'll use this time to test stuff in the background, make sure I've got a good roster, and then go forward. Go forward with a new video on that.
I gotta go get a hood or something. I think I'd have a lot more opportunity.
You wouldn't be as stressed about it for sure.
No, I know. I just knowing that my car is protected. It's safe.
So Joey, are you in an HOA?
No.
Okay. You imagine having a hood in an HOA that is like your neighbors see you polishing in your garage.
Nope. But I'm thankful
look at this criminal.
to have a hood in the hood.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
That's not the same color as your car. Yeah.
Could you imagine?
Shout out to HOAs. Good.
Yeah.
God.
So in Canada we call them stratas. I don't know if you guys have that same term in Alberta.
I've probably heard of it, but
BC, like if you live in a townhouse or a condo, your strata is the management of
watch the Canadians have conversations about Canadian things.
Shared walls, the people where your money goes every month to pay for things that break. We call it a strata, but in this US you can have HOAs for like even houses, right? I think you can be in a house, but you're still in a community or something.
Thank you for coming, Fred. It was good to have you.
Yeah.
Is that all we got for this week? I think
we went an hour and 30 minutes.
Yeah,
pretty good.
I mean, you're always
Alex is hungry.
I'm a little over time again.
Alex is hungry.
Are you getting in trouble with the family?
Me?
At all? No, not you.
No, I just show up on my own time. Basically,
I want to make sure, man. I like to. I don't want them to be upset with me.
Yeah.
Like you spend all this extra time on the internet with this guy every Friday, and now you're going to hang out with him for a week. You're going to be roommates for a week. This is sus.
Yeah.
But Sheep, thank you so much for spending a Friday night at 4 p.m. Like Jimbo says, the absolute worst time for a podcast.
This is way better than the time he made me do for him. I had to take more than half a day off work to do that.
Oh God.
Although I've said to you guys, I'm pretty spicy in the mornings, as you guys could tell from my text messages. So maybe we should do a morning episode one day. If you guys want to see a morning episode,
my mornings start at like 5:30, 6 a.m.
Which is why I'm spicy. I don't want to be up at that hour.
Yeah.
Right. Everything's pissing me off.
Yeah.
Love
that.
Well, thank you again. Where can they find you if they haven't already subscribed to you already? Where can they catch you?
I am on only YouTube. I don't do anything else.
SheepStar Detail.
I think the channel is just called SheepStar. But that's
I had to look up your URL is SheepStar Detail. But
yes,
if you just search SheepStar, you will find this man with the NSX photo. Dewar, you got anything before I?
No, that's it. I want to give a shameless plug. So those wondering, there won't be an episode next Friday. Joey and I will all be traveling to to my departure destination, if you will.
I'll be folding my chonies.
Yeah. So it won't be an episode, and I do encourage all of you to watch TRCMA, which is going to be the kind of last week of March, first week of April. The official days, because we still have that 31st on the Monday, so it's going to be the 31st.
It's the last day of March and the first few days of April.
Yeah, so 4 banger days that I am extremely excited to do and to be a part of. So the Right Company channel, be sure to be subscribed over there to watch. They do post it after the fact, but we are going to have some enormous giveaways. I can't stress this enough.
$8,000 in giveaways.
So if you don't even have to be good at math to realize that $8,000 over the course of 4 days is $2,000 a day. Whether they're going to break it up exactly like that, I don't know. But again, these guys know what they're doing with the giveaways. There's going to be no contest of
Gabe I commented on the Q&A. One of these giveaways is a Viper chair. Who gives away Viper chairs? Let's come on.
I know.
I don't want that. My garage is too narrow for chairs.
I also, dude, I'm like, I also want a Viper chair, but I'm in the same boat. I don't know that I'd be able to comfortably move around the car, and I'm very sad about it.
It doesn't work for me.
But yes, tune in. we will be there. Even if you don't like the rag company, but like us, just show up for a little bit of support. We'll appreciate it.
Because they do have their schedule, I believe, is up on the ragcompany.com. And, you can check that out. So what it is it's broken down by day, so like day one, you have a morning and afternoon. So you have, give or take 3 to 4 presenters in the morning, 3 to 4 presenters in the afternoon. And, you, again, if you're not into it live, or you have a day job, which I understand a lot of people do, totally fine. You may not have the flexibility to watch it. But certainly get that done. So yeah, okay, there we go. Excellent.
Boom. Right there.
So Joey and I, we're going to be doing first thing in the morning. Starts at about 9 o'clock, I believe. So we're going to probably go on probably 8:45-ish, to do kind of a pre-show and then a mid-show just after lunchtime. Just depends on the day and the time and how certain things are running and rolling and all that kind of fun stuff. So yeah, Flex, KCX, Color Lock in the morning, and then Obsessed Garage, which you might want to watch earlier. Just gonna say, Rag Company, and then we're jumping over to Buff Bright. So Tom's gonna bring his bag of dog hair, and then
I hope the dog hair is there. I hope it's there. I've seen it for 2 years
like
in a row.
It's like a garbage bag.
I want to touch the dog hair.
It's hilarious.
Yeah, and then IK, who knows what they might be showing off? Wasn't it last year they showed it off?
I held a 3D print. I held a 3D printed version. So yeah. So the head on over. Doing like microfiber sessions, and then like the history of them, and then like their ultra tools. I think they're gonna have one just specific on that as well.
Yep.
So look
and then
out.
Tons of you got Armor, you've got Buff and Shine, you've got Ego, you've got Detail Factory, Solution Finish, Diamond Pro Tech, Day 3, Viper, always a fun time. PNS, the Ultra by the Rag Company. This is going to go over their Ultra line. Rode FS, so you can
get your software going.
Take care of your customers. Rupez, Avery Dennison, the Rap Institute. This is the segment
if you're gonna watch
makes me forget I'm working.
If you're gonna and look at the time slot, that's 1 hour and 15 minutes of bliss.
Yep.
Take your lunch break.
You're gonna watch Justin Pate probably wrap a hood in about 30 seconds and with his eyes closed, and you're gonna think I can start a rap business.
And Joey's gonna be serenaded in person, which I cannot wait for.
My jaw's gonna be on the floor.
Yes.
And then you question why you have to pay $2,000 to get it done if you did it in 30 seconds.
Yeah.
That's how it always works. You did it so fast, it should be cheap.
That's like when a plumber comes to your house and fixes something.
Yeah.
So yeah, tons of great brands the entire week. New stuff from a lot of them. Tune in to see what that is, and just tune in for us. I'll just go ahead and say it. Tune in for us. Even if you don't care about detailing, tune in for us.
That's right.
We love you guys. And shout out to the 25 of you who have stuck through this long. We know we've had longer episodes the last few times, and
I had to leave halfway through the last week's. I was pissed. It was like, you guys
I'm glad you didn't leave halfway through this one.
It was 2 hours.
Right? 2 hours. The dog was barking so much, I almost had to.
Oh, man.
Yeah, no, I was oh, they're getting into some juicy topics. And I was like, I have to go home.
Well, hopefully you watched it after the fact.
I watched it later.
Beautiful.
Awesome. Well, thank you guys for tuning in. Tizzle's like, you guys are still going? Yeah, sorry. We're getting out of here. I will I'll see you guys. I'll see you guys when I see you.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Take care, everybody.
Thanks, everyone.
Thanks, everybody.